man.
Yeah, with Bruno Mars was basically taking over a different sound, a previous sound, and just making it his own.
But I don't see why that's wrong. You want to push music forward.
I wouldn't say it's wrong. I mean, it's
No,
he pulled it off.
No, if you got the talent to pull it off, run with it. Like I say, The Weeknd got his own lane. Nobody's in it. It's just him and a bunch of white people that used to love Michael Jackson have been reborn.
Yeah.
he like his streaming numbers is gonna be crazy. Like touring gonna be crazy. What they gonna say when he like I just said, like when he have his moment at the Grammys and all of them shits come to him.
See,
When they put that little Georgia peach at the end. You ever seen that Georgia peach?
yeah.
Yeah, it's been on. Steve Harvey always comes on for Steve because what's that talk? That game show he's got.
Yeah, Family Feud.
Family Feud. You always see that. Like all that shit.
No,
Made in Georgia.
Yeah. No, they've had at least for the last 10 years. I've seen that logo. Like whether it was those small shows to now. Speaking of another movie that they did in Georgia, and they kind of had a little bit of an uprising, was Black Panther. They filmed most of the Marvel big movies, like the Avengers joints, is like over there, the sound studio in Atlanta, and that's a big production. That's like $200 million. Talking about Black Panther, that coming out. Do y'all think the hype that is getting, is it like warranted, or? Because my argument, the reason why I say that, I feel like Black Panther has the potential to be the Oprah or the Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods.
Fuck over.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
You know, the you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the outlier and not the norm. Because it's the first time you're gonna have like A-list, known actors and actresses in this big budget movie. You know what I'm saying? Is this the outlier with the Black Panther?
Wow. I say it's divided for the real comic book purists. That's one. And then I think you just got the other half that just technology, want to see the fights and all like that. I more is going to look at it for the history of, is it told right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? One big misconception is Marvel and DC, all that comes from, you know what I'm saying, African folk tales.
Folklore.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All that come from that.
Because the whole, even with the X-Men is basically, you know what I'm saying, Magneto and Professor X. Professor X is Martin Luther King. And Magneto's supposed to be Malcolm X.
Well,
they both want to do good by their people. You feel what I'm saying? But they just got different
ways
about
about going towards the.
So everything's always been about, they really pay attention to
our
what we're
plight.
doing.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And
Right.
we are like when you really look at it. You may remember this Icon, which was way before Superman. He was a black Superman.
Yeah.
And they disbanded that comic book. Kennedy disbanded that comic book. You know what I mean? So when you really get into the history of comics, even to the drawing of the square chin, that's supposed to be Kennedy's chin. The strength of, that was the image. America didn't want a black image. You couldn't have the world thinking a nigga could save it.
But that was interesting too, because a lot of the like you were saying, and especially with the Black Panther, because if you think about it, everything originated from Africa.
Period.
And everything and all the technology that all these mutants and these meta-humans and all the technology come from where Black Panther's at. That at the adamantium or whatever it is.
That shit's
that shit came
vibranium.
right
The
from
vibranium. But the premises
Vibranium,
the premises is, and you got to really see the truth. The premises is that how far Africa itself was ahead of civilization.
Advanced. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be on that side of really want to see if they because even as a comic book guy, I really wish they wouldn't have allowed the father to die in Civil War. I wanted the story back from when America found out about Wakanda, and they sent Captain America back when him and Wolverine was in the World War II, and Black Panther waited for his arrival just to test his skills against him. You know what I'm saying? So you get that comic book. I wish I knew the exact name, the exact number of the comic book. So I wanted them. I wish they told the story from that, and then you see him pass away and see the struggle of the future Black Panther and how he becomes and stuff like that. So I doubt if they do that, that would have been a few more. But they done made that money already, and it ain't what you call it.
Oh yeah, that franchise is gone.
pre-sales
No, they can Star Wars it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
But the pre-sales alone already broke everyone's
but
record.
they done made the $200 million back,
Yeah, I mean,
And
that,
some.
the thing
and it ain't
is,
dropped yet.
The thing is that the hoopla, the hysteria that's around it is warranted, because I feel like we needed,
No, absolutely.
you know, not to prove
Absolutely.
anything to anybody, but at the same time we kind of are, that we can do some sci-fi, like, look at the stuff that they're getting from. It's like from the Earth's most oldest and strongest soil, the motherland. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know what time it is when you see something like that being portrayed, and we're not cannibals cooking your ass up in a bowl like I seen in some of those old school cartoons.
Yeah. Barbecue cat.
Yeah.
That's an old Tom and Jerry reference.
Yeah. And then that's the thing that, I don't know, it feels like it's being awakened with this film, where, you know, you show diversity, you show that all of us don't get along, because I think, to answer to what you were saying, what the plot looks like it's going to be is that since his pops passed away, how is the
Wakanda will move on and lead
civilization, you know what I'm saying? Because he probably has different views. At least that's how it was showing in the brief times that you saw him in Captain America, where, all right, now he has to take on his father's ways, or the Panther ways.
Well, technically, you don't even know where the movie's picking up at. It could be before that, the Civil War. They didn't show enough. They didn't show enough to show where it was at.
The reason I say that, because they have the father died, and then I saw an interview, because the guy who I forget it. Man, I need to know his name. He actually, in the script when they first written it, it was all English. And the guy who
you talking about
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
the father,
the gentleman that plays
the guy that played the father.
Yeah, he actually is from Africa, or know the indigenous language. You know what I'm saying? And he brought that to the movie as well. So they starting off with the son. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got Michael B. Jordan. He's playing the guy that wants to take the crown.
Killmonger. Yeah, that's
they starting from the son taking over,
to answer,
and the ideals moving forward.
Yeah, to answer what you were saying, because I've been like binge watching these comic book nerd things on YouTube. But if you go by the comic, this guy Michael B. Jordan's character, he sees a weakness in the hierarchy.
The way that bloodline been running.
Right. The way that you could get on, you have to challenge a Black Panther descendant or whatever. If you win, you take over that's how the comic goes. Yeah. So for him to be in there, and he's the most outside of the white guy with the claw. Ulysses Claw.
Yeah, Ulysses Claw.
That's the biggest opposition before they even get to like the Civil War type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So right now he has to fight for his kingdom, and he might not win it. If you go off of the comics, he might not win it, but he might. You know.
Now they got to leave some suspense to move on. We got to get a Black Panther too. But now it also shines a light. I'm gonna say this: people don't really know that they kept blocking Wesley Snipes for doing this for about over 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's when he was prime time Wesley Snipes, and his kicks would be
he ain't
gotta he wouldn't pull any muscles.
They blocked Wesley from trying to do. Wesley been trying to do this over 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It's
he got Blade. You know what I'm saying?
But that's they shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm saying.
Blade saved the world. So did Will Smith in Independence Day. He saved the world.